Welcome to the Creating Experience podcast, where we take you behind the scenes of unforgettable events. I'm Emma, and I'm joined by my co-host James. Together, we bring you years of experience in the event industry.
We're back.
We are back. Yay.
2024.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe we are.
It's still taken us, 3 weeks to get a podcast done?
But there's been a lot happening.
There has. A
lot happening.
We've had a pretty solid festival program running throughout December and during the break that we had off, and it's still going till the end of January. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about it.
About the what's been going on in the background.
Yeah.
And what you can go and see.
Yeah. So do you want to intro the festival?
So end of October, we submitted an application for tender for what was called the Safer Cities Her Way program. So it's a program run, it's a pilot program essentially funded by the Transport for New South Wales, and Central Coast Council were one of the 10 or 11 councils that was successful in this program. And it's about making women feel safe, women, girls and gender diverse people when walking and moving through the cities to make them feel safe. So Central Coast Council selected Gosford as part of the program, and they have been doing works, so capital works around the place. If you have a look at Burns Park, for example, they've cleared a whole lot of trees. There's a lot of maintenance that's been going on. Over Christmas, they had this beautiful star, and we'll talk more about what we did as part of that. Also, if you look through the streets, there's things like they've just done some paint work and maintenance, especially in William Street Mall, which sits between the old NAB Bank. There is now vacant buildings either side, but that's completely been gutted. So they've painted pots and replanted, they've changed the sails, they've taken away, which is a huge thing. They had these gazebos that people used to hang around. So it's taken out that whole hanging around, mucking up, drinking, and it's taken away all of that. Yep. So the shop owners are very happy with what's happened in there. And then into Kibble Park, some more works there, and we've done some installations. So it was quite a quick turnaround. We found out we were successful beginning of November. The soft launch for the project was the 1st of December, and then the hard launch was the 15th of December, or the 16th, of December. So very quick turnaround. Yeah. As part of the tender that we proposed was bringing Gosford to life by light and music and food, I guess. So I'll hand over to Jimmy about the installation side, the lighting installation side, and then I'll talk more about the entertainment side. Yeah.
So I suppose to preface this at the start, I mean, obviously there was let's say we had a month, so to speak, from awarding the tender to the soft launch, or in our case, then it was like the 16th of December. But you got to keep in mind, this is in the middle of summer as well, on top of obviously the summer workload that we've had going on. So it was quite insane, the sheer amount of work and hours that went into pulling this one off for a job that was awarded in November. But we had a number of lighting installations. The first one was a Pix ball and laser show activation in Burns Park. So we essentially put in I can't remember all the numbers off the top of my head, but I think it was 10 meters, or it might have been a 9 meter by 8 meter lead truss structure on 4 meter legs. And then we had 100 meters worth of Pix ball strung across it. And then we also hung a outdoor LED floodlight to actually then light up the mural the water fountain on one side, and then on the other side we put in a large format laser, which essentially projects a whole bunch of patterns onto the building over the road at night time. So, yeah, quite a large structure to go in there. And but yeah, it essentially runs from 8 o'clock till around 11 o'clock every night. We've just got a bunch of power timers on that, and then DMX triggers that once the power turns on, it essentially just triggers the show to start running.
Yep.
Then we also did a number of obviously safety things in terms of like cladding the truss so that people can't climb.
Yeah, that was a worry, I guess, of is having a truss structure and people being able to...
Looking at it as like a massive set of monkey bars.
Yeah, so we alleviated that.
So that was the PIX ball installation. As we moved down the road, we uplit the front facades of Gosford Hotel.
Hotel Gosford.
Hotel Gosford.
Yep.
Just again, a number of outdoor deluge floodlights set to pink, which is the main colour scheme.
Yeah, so it was only going to be pink for the 16th, which was the hard launch date. However, Hotel Gosford loved it so much that they've kept the pink scheme throughout December, January, and have also, they're Sixers fans as well for cricket. So also added that little tagline into saying that they were supporting not only the program but the Sixers.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. But yeah, again, that one's just running off timers as well, preset to the colours, and so those all sat on the awning, lighting up the top half of their building. And again, that one runs from 8 o'clock. I think we made that one a little bit later. It's because of obviously their nighttime traffic during the night, so during the weekend, so it runs till I think about 1 a.m. of a morning normally. The next one down as we move down the street is the installation in the laneway between Rain and Horn, or next to Rain and Horn, and so there was already a mural artwork that went in by some artists that was organised by council, but that was one of the elements that we had to work around for this install. Was obviously the mural started going from December essentially, and they were a 2-week process in itself. Essentially again, another truss structure with the cladding on the truss, and then this one had lead festoon draped between it with different droppers on it, and then we also then hung pink and white umbrellas upside down, which
I did not think were going to last, but they're still there.
They've done pretty well.
They've done really well.
So that's just a cool little unique sort of setup, and it looks good both during the day and at night time with the umbrellas there. It's something really unique, and it's lit up quite a dark alleyway.
Oh, it's really cool actually.
So that one, and then also the next to that one then is we've got a projector set up in the office of Rain and Horn that's actually projecting onto the NAB building, and what we've done there is essentially taken the artwork that was painted in the laneway and it's been animated, and then that sits projected onto the building over the road. Same deal, that projection is on a timer, runs daily.
Unfortunately,
we've had one laptop stolen so far.
Disclaimer though, that's the only thing that we've had
out of all of them. Yeah, at the moment, touch wood. Surprisingly, because that was always going to be the concern with this sort of stuff. Is it's nice to have nice things, but sometimes one or two people ruin it for everyone. So we did have a laptop stolen over New Year's Eve. That's has that projection running onto the building. So again, that's just a really cool. That runs every night. Yep. Moving into William Street Mall or William Street Plaza. There's a big shade sale there. That was there the whole time. They just put a new sail on it as part of the renovations. And so what we did for this one is we got a bunch of event lighting lead tape, and essentially attached it to the framing and set that to glow pink.
So it's
same deal.
Kind of underneath the sails, and it's
so it literally just makes the whole structure glow pink at night time.
Yep.
And again, that one's just running on timers, but really quite that one turned out to be quite a simple little.
But really effective.
Really effective.
Really effective. And it's something that council could continue
it can stay there, to be honest. We don't need to remove it.
Yeah.
Probably cheaper. But and then so as we move through William Street, there's a projector, another projection there, just sitting again on one of the awnings, shooting onto the building. Again, just to create a bit more colour to light up the building. In William Street Plaza, and then we move through to the big one in Kibble Park, which this one is a 10 metre by 9 metre truss structure, again on 4 metre legs.
Yep.
And this sits over the top of a mural in Kibble Park. And this particular structure, this one only runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. But we've got, again, a bunch of outdoor LED floodlights on this one, and then 12 beam fixtures as well, which when that one's on at night, you can actually see the beams. Yeah, from quite
it's like a
distance.
Hollywood style beam, isn't it?
Yeah. So and that structure turns on at 8 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock there's a 10-minute light show with some music. So we put outdoor speakers on that structure as well. So, and again, it's just all running off DMX triggers. Great new device from Event Tech. For event lighting that triggers both the audio and the DMX track. So again, we haven't needed to, put huge amounts of tech on site for the 6-week period, which is
more fantastic. The install.
Which is fantastic. So that just sits there and triggers 9 o'clock, and then we keep those lights on, I think, until about 11 o'clock that night too. But when all these fixtures are on, it really does light up what's normally a pretty dull area of Gosford.
And the projections, the installation's cool as well, because the mural is actually painted a water. It's like a water feature. So there's sharks and boats and things like that. And when the activation goes on, the lighting goes down onto the mural, and it's like a water looking light. So it actually looks quite effective, and it looks like water. So the kids love it too. Yeah. Even when it goes on at 8 o'clock, they're there playing in the structure. Yeah.
But so that's sort of all the activations. Huge effort by the team
to put
them in, because as I said, again, they ended up a lot of that work because we were waiting for approval to get access to the sites.
It was approval and also power. We had to look at
waiting for power to be sorted. So they literally, all of them went in within a week.
Yeah.
So what it really should have been, probably a 2.5 week process to put them in, and then do all the testing and everything. All happened within a week, which was
and hot days.
Fun. They were hot days.
They were like, I felt so sorry for the boys.
But no, they smashed it. So that's the lighting installation.
That's the lighting. So then we move into the activation. So over December, January, we've had 50 live music pop-up activations. So a lot of the activations were featured in Burns Park, which is near Gosford railway station. So Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, live music. We had lawn games. We did some flags. So the area was noticeable for people. And people, loved it. Oh, they're still there. If you're listening to this before the end of January, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there is free coffee as well. Central Coast Council have popped that in. Alongside our live music, and every Friday there's a roving entertainment thanks to Runabout Circus, our friends there. Then we've got our big one, which is this Saturday, which is the Good Times Summer Festival. So this is in Kibble Park. Live music, 2 till 9. We've got an all-female lineup, which is very cool. A few market stalls, not too many, and some food vendors as well. We've got a bar happening thanks to our friends at Naughty Noodle Funhouse. We've been working really well with them on this project, making sure that when we're doing live music in the park, their funhouse sits within Kibble Park as well. So just working with the team there to make sure there's no crossover, because they're doing a lot of great things with live music and comedy shows and things like that in the house. So if you're listening to this in the next 2 days, get down to Kibble Park on Saturday.
Turn that around in 2 days, yeah, Aaron?
Yep, thank you, Aaron. No. We'll see. If you don't check out all the footage online, there'll be some great footage online. And it's great to see for Kibble Park. So it's had a really bad run. It's got a really bad reputation, or has in the past, and it's really lovely to see Gosford and all this happening in Gosford, because there is so much from a building and construction perspective going on there. It's just showcases what Gosford, the potential that it does have. So, and just really quashing that negative vibes of it being a drug and alcohol park of where people go. So it's really, really nice to do something fun in the park. Then we've got our Coastal Concert Series, Good Times edition. So that's going to be in Leagues Club Park. That's the 27th, the day after Australia Day. So Central Coast Council have got Australia Day happening in Leagues Club Park. So we're doing a second day. Again, really fun, young lineup. It's Triple Day Hottest 100 countdown on that day. So we're going to be doing updates during set breaks, and just making it a really fun vibe for young people and young bands and artists. We've also been doing some kids discos that are happening. One of the areas that council really wanted to activate was the William Street Plaza. So we've been doing kids discos in there. We've had, between 15 to 20 kids on a rotating, they'd come in, have a dance, like parents would walk past, and it's been really fun down there for the kids, and just something really different. Sunday Serenades, again, happening in Kibble Park on a Sunday through January. Some live bands, pop-up dining, and just some really fun bands, having a dance. We had a beautiful lady come down last week and said she never knew things like this were happening in Gosford, and she loved it. She danced for like hours when we were down there the other day. It was really cute. And then finally our Mums and Bubs sessions. So we engage VHAB, which is a exercise program for return to work mums, and they concentrate on and it's really gentle, beautiful exercise, like yoga style, for females, new mums. So you can bring your bubs along, and we've still got a few sessions throughout January for that. So that's every Monday. We've been doing that in Kibble Park as well. So there's been a lot of entertainment.
There's been a lot of stuff. I think the important thing, like what you did as well when you were programming this, that you actually went through and looked at what other people were doing in Gosford, so that it didn't, so to speak, clash over the top. Like you obviously mentioned with the Naughty Noodle scenario, to making sure that it wasn't going on at the same time. It wasn't competing with what people are doing, because there's already a lot of stuff that is going on in Gosford, like with Naughty Noodle and Hotel Gosford, for example, and even Railway Hotel. Like they are a couple of quite strong
really
venues. But it was sort of to help tie it all together. Even like the Coastal Concert Series event, for example, the day after Australia Day, we've programmed that to run just before the Mariners game.
That's right.
That night at the stadium.
Yep.
So,
it's and there's as you said, there's a lot happening in Gosford that people don't actually realise. So, even down to like Tai Chi in the park, and like that happens all the time. And also the markets have been down there as well, which have been really successful. Browse events have been great with that. They've been doing some really good things. Which was why you did the
DJs.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Disco night.
So we ran the the kids disco in conjunction with the market. So while people are down there looking at the markets, then there was something else for them to do, which carried through. So from 6 till 9, the kids discos, then they could take the kids around Gosford to see all the lighting activations when they came on at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of thought in the programming, and as you said, in a very short period of time. But it's something that I hope, even though it is a pilot program, that Transport New South Wales, Central Coast Council, and even the businesses in Gosford really do get on board. Yeah. Especially when...
I think it's important, because I was chatting to someone the other day about this too. Like, obviously at the moment with Gosford, there's a lot of stuff going, like a lot of construction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And everyone's kind of going like, oh, it's great. Like when all this happens, then Gosford will come back to life. And
but we need to start now.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't start working on it, and we don't have these sort of programs or these sort of activities now, it's not the type of thing that is magically going to happen when people move in. And if you don't shown to be doing that sort of stuff, why would people want to move there?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, it's just like I'm not saying the program was the be all and end all, but it really does show that those little areas of Burns Park and Kibble Park and William Street, it was just thinking out of the box as well. Council really wanted to activate the laneway and William Street and those little areas that aren't normally activated, and people would think. And I didn't realise until we were in the laneway, when I'd go and look at, because I love my umbrella installation. I think it's really cool. But how many people actually use that laneway and of a night, of a day and a night? I didn't actually realise until we were in there. Yeah. So, and to have something cool like that mural that will stay there for he said it'll last 10 years plus. Yeah, okay. So, it's not just an overnight, let's pop it in and let it go. It's actually a permanent fixture now, along with the festoon that they've got hanging above it. So they've done really well to think about things. So that's the Good Time Summer program that ran over December, January. As we said, very quick turnaround, but very good, very cool for Gosford. And hopefully we'll see it again in the future. Yeah. And even other councils as well. So something to think about for them.
If they've got a space they want to activate or whatever. Yeah. I think the other thing, just probably too, for those people that are listening too, is if you see this sort of stuff, I think it's important that people, you can do a couple of things to support this, in the fact of whether it be just purely sharing it or even just making the effort to go
and have a look.
To some of this stuff. Like, because, I think a lot of people are very quick sometimes to say, oh, there's nothing to do. Or, nothing ever happens. But, I think there are definitely a lot of people out there, both in the public sector and the private sector, that are, putting money into trying to run activations and events and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to people participating. Yeah, get out there and support your local community. I mean, we're lucky. We've got a really good support network too, and I think it's great. So I think the thing is, at the end of the day, rather than it's just changing that stigma from nothing happens in Gosford to actually there is a lot of stuff happening in Gosford, and people really should just get out there and support.
And Central Coast Council have got some great ideas as well. So
they invest a lot of money into place activation across the coast, and all the way up to the entrance and down to Gosford. There is a lot of investment goes into putting on free public events for the community. And at the end of the day, you're just missing out if you don't get off your bum and go to it.
A lot to do throughout summer. Yeah.
So.
All right. Awesome.
But that's that. We'll see you in 3 weeks' time when we get time for a podcast.
No,
Aaron's going to be on to us, and we'll be back next week, promise.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks for checking out the Creating Experience podcast. You can find the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as YouTube. Be sure to check out our socials as well. We're on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn as well. And if you have an event coming up that you need assistance on, feel free to head to our website, www.jcentertainment.com.au, or give us a call on 1800 JC Events.